moved here from Phoenix, Arizona, and moved into, oh, is this, what do I do here?
Got it.
Mine, oh, mine, so is that, mine says continue and
Yeah,
lead.
patience.
Oh, you got it, got it.
Got it good.
Okay, and so I moved into the west side of Santa Barbara from Phoenix, Arizona, and my husband had bought a home in Santa Barbara, very smart man in the 80s, and so we were able to afford to live in Santa Barbara. But moving right into the west side, I was surrounded by immigrant neighbors. And really just, it was never my plan to do this work, but it was just like God got a hold of me and just started introducing me everywhere I was. I was working at Santa Barbara City College. I was in the early childhood department and started working with a lot of families there as well. And then started going to a church in the West Side that was surrounded by immigrant neighbors. And so my heart just started learning about the immigration issues here in Santa Barbara. And just at between 2005 and 2007, just had to, it's just God moved me to start saying, how can we do something to serve them? And so that's how Immigrant Hope Santa Barbara was formed. And then, all right, how do I move this? Oh, never mind, I got it down here. Okay, so the mission and vision. So our mission is to provide help in determining if there is a pathway to legal permanent residency. We see many people, and so our job really is to determine whether there is a path. And many people that we see, there is not a legal pathway to any type of immigration benefit, but that's what we try to determine when we see people. Our vision is to build relationships with our immigration neighbors through immigration and education services and share the hope of the gospel. We are a faith-based organization. We love to pray with people, and if the conversation opens up about God, then we are glad to have that conversation. It is not a requirement to receive our services, and so but our heart really is in helping the immigrant in any way that we can. We are actually recognized by the Department of Justice to do the work that we do. So that gives us a legal right to be able to help people. The Department of Justice actually established recognized centers in hopes that the low-income population would have correct legal representation. So the majority of our clients have to be low income. We're not here to serve those that can't afford to go to attorneys. It's another requirement that our fees have to be very nominal. So for example, we charge $280 to do a naturalization application when most of the time they're going to a lawyer that could charge them anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to do that kind of work. Our caseworkers are also accredited through the Department of Justice. So we have to study immigration law, we have to go out and do internships, and we have to pass an immigration law course to then be accredited by the Department of Justice. So the difference is that we are accredited to do the work to where an attorney can practice any kind of law. We can only represent people in immigration law alone, and most of the work that we do is to the U.S. citizens. We represent them to the U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services. We have 2 locations now. Our main office is in Santa Barbara, but this last year we have applied and are working up in Arroyo Grande as well.
Okay.
We also do education services, and so we have different classes that we offer. So we offer an English class, which we use actually for multiple, just for anybody that wants to learn English, but many of our civics classes, which are people that are applying to naturalize, also have to take the interview and the civics portion of the test in English. So we use that for them as well. Our civics class we offer in English and in Spanish, that for those that qualify to take the naturalization test to become citizens in Spanish. This last year, we opened up a Spanish literacy class because we realized that there's many of our neighbors who didn't really get to go to school very much, and they don't even know how to read and write in their own language. So we are teaching some Spanish literacy. We do a driver's license study course to help people get their driver's license so that they can be legal on our roads driving. And then we have a class called El Puente, which is the bridge. And it's a community education class, believing that education is a bridge for a lot of different things. And so we partner with a lot of different organizations to do classes that provide resources and education to our neighbors to help them, including Scott, who will come in and do the Donate Life type of presentations for us. So this year has been probably the largest year we've ever had as far as caseload. We've served over 600 people in our immigration center, actually opening up 386 cases, and 250 were just consultations, meaning that they didn't have any type of pathway or that we weren't able to help them because of something in their past that may have prevented them from being a good idea to put in an application. We helped 170 people, 78 people in our education classes, which is usually a lot higher, but the first part of the year, because of COVID, until the social distancing went away, we weren't able to do our classes. So this is just from July through November of people that have attended our classes. We rely a lot on volunteers to do our work, and we have this great partnership with Westmont College and with some of the other colleges providing internships. So it's such a blessing for us to have these interns and volunteers come in and help us with our classes, and even in the immigration center. We have done 16 community presentations, mostly through Zoom this year. But we love to go out and do these types of presentations and meet with people and let them know about the work that we do. And then, like I said, we form partnerships. So we have a great partnership with the fire department, with the police department, with the resource centers, family service agency, the promotoras, the Sansum Clinic. That all come in and partner with us in different ways. And many of them help do the presentations for our El Puente community presentation. We actually have a group of our immigrant neighbors who are actually went through the first section of the emergency response team, the CERT team, CERT City, and they are becoming the first Spanish-speaking second level CERT team in the nation. They were partway through it when COVID hit, and so we're just going to be starting that back up again, that they will be able to help the fire department or those in the city if a natural disaster helps, and will be the Spanish-speaking portion going out into the city. This year we celebrated, we had our first annual Citizenship Academy, which we hope to continue, and we're able to celebrate 52 people so far this year have become US citizens in Santa Barbara. Okay, and then actually I want to introduce you to Karla Can. Karla in 2014 walked into Immigrant Hope asking if she could volunteer to do childcare. Karla had just graduated from San Diego State, the UC San Diego, with a political science degree. She walked in and I was just like, that's not why you're here. And so I will have her come up because as Hannah had said, Karla is the only fully accredited rep. So we have two types of rep. Partially accredited means that we can represent them to USCIS with their immigration application. Fully accredited means that you can represent them in immigration court. And so Karla is the only fully accredited rep that we have in Santa Barbara County, and worked really hard, and you could just tell Karla just got it. And so it was just such a blessing to have her walk in. Anyway, so I will let her take over from here.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. So like Diane said, my name is Karla Can, and thank you so much first and foremost for allowing us to be in the space with you guys today, and Hannah for just making it all happen and just giving us an opportunity to share a little bit about what we do at Immigrant Hope. And you know, this is really great. I actually was I just want to shout out Rotary Club. I was part of the RILA youth conference that thanks to this gentleman who it was, you know, through interviews and to get to that opportunity to go to Ojai for a couple of days. And, you know, just want to give a shout out to just the Rotary Club for impacting lives for youth in that way. I still remember vividly, actually, the days, the mornings, getting up early, and just the leadership building and the equipping. So I just wanted to just give a little shout out to that. Yeah, so like Diane said, I found out about Immigrant Hope actually through the church that I was going with my parents at the time. I saw the flyer that they were fundraising. And so I saw the logo, and born and raised here in Santa Barbara, never ever heard of Immigrant Hope. And I decided to search a little bit more. I saw Diane's picture and her email, and I saw that there were volunteer opportunities, and I decided to just, touch base with her, interested in childcare. Little did I know that that was definitely not the plan that God had for my life. And from that point on, it's been a pleasure just working with the center and just getting to be a part of a bigger piece just being a presence there for the immigrant community. My parents are immigrants, and it's just really rewarding. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about what full accreditation is, a little bit more about the legal services we provide there at Immigrant Hope, to give you a little bit more of an idea of the type of services that we offer. So let me move on. And apologies if the size of the writing is small, but I'll just pretty much read it. So like Diane mentioned, we are accredited. We're a recognized organization. And so what we do with the legal services aspect when we meet with people is that we offer consultations to make sure we screen any possible pathways for some form of legal status for the person in the consultation. And so what that means is that there needs to be some rapport, some trust with myself and with the family who comes to the office, and try to just it really becomes a conversation. That's the main point and the objective, not just for screening purposes, but just to get to know a little bit about them and their situation beyond immigration. But that's the goal for the consultation. But so we want to determine and make sure if there are any pathways, and if there are, we want to be able to guide them step by step. It's like holding their hand through this process. It's very complex. It can be very difficult really quickly, and so we want to go ahead and do that and explore in detail and assist them with the whole process. So that's how it starts, through a consultation. And if they want to decide to retain our services, then we go ahead and do a client service agreement and help them prepare the application, and then go with them. If there's an interview involved with the office of USCIS, then we attend with them. And then also along with that comes the full accreditation process, which like Diane mentioned, took some time. I definitely had a lot of internal personal battles about that, because it's a higher level of, I would say, responsibility, because now it's not just the Department of USCIS, but it's helping somebody through their immigration process. And with immigration court, it's not like criminal court where they assign you should you need a public defender. Here, it's at the person's own expense. They are not given counsel to represent them in their court case. And right now, based off on the current June, July numbers in immigration court all over the nation, there's around 1.5 million cases that are backlogged. So it just, there's a crazy, so much going on with the immigration court systems, trying to make it easier, or just there's just a lot of cases with the amount of immigration judges, and it's just kind of, yeah, it's we clearly can see the system completely broken when we look at the representation aspect of immigration court and what that means. And so yeah, so that's really what a full accredited representative is allowed to do, and just representation in immigration court. So it's not federal. We cannot represent somebody here at local court for family, probate, criminal, anything like that. It's only specifically under the immigration court, which is under the Executive Office of Immigration Review. And so, yeah, so that opens the door a lot to be able to assist families who are in removal proceedings. We want to make sure we assess the case and make sure that that looking to see what the avenue for them is in court, what their defense would be. And yeah, it's really a teamwork with the client and ourselves to be able to prepare the case as best as we can to present it in front of the judge. And obviously we have the government attorney representing the government, who is doing the best of what they can in their in whatever they have to try and deport your client. So so yeah, that's kind of a little in a nutshell what full accreditation means. And I just got accredited last year, so it is a little weird with everything with COVID and the courts, and you know, it's been closed, and then all of a sudden telephonic appearances. So it's just been kind of unstable in comparison to before, where you went in person and everything, you know, normal. Now that normal is no longer really there. So that's another difficulty that the people face in these removal proceedings, that they don't know what number to dial. A lot of intricacies come into play with representation and just being in removal proceedings. So I'll just move on with, these are a list of services of types of immigration reliefs that we assist with. They are not, it's not limited to just this. These are kind of the most common ones. So we help with family petitions. If somebody has a family member who can petition for another family member, that opens a pathway for permanent resident status, citizenship, DACA renewals, an initial green card renewals, Violence Against Women Act, that's a little bit more specific, youth status when someone's been a victim of a crime in the United States, victim of human trafficking, religious visas, waivers, and asylum. So yeah, I can talk a lot more about each specific bullet here, but I just kind of wanted to just lay out there so you have an idea of yeah, the different areas that honestly God has given us the knowledge to do, because you know, every year passes by, we keep adding on to that list. And so it's been a blessing, like I said, to be able to be a part of that and be able to offer these services to people who we've seen multiple times, hearing same stories. They go somewhere, they get that to pay thousands of dollars, they get ill-advised, and they are pretty much starting from ground zero again. So yeah, so that's just a little bit of the legal services that Immigrant Hope Santa Barbara offers. And so and that's our information there. Our address is up there, our website. We have also Facebook, Instagram, and Diane's email and my email. And a lot of the social media, thank you, Hannah. Shout out to Hannah again. She's amazing. She's just, she just has that gifting to just, she's been with us for quite some time. And it's just very, very amazing to be, to have her part of the Immigrant Hope team. And again, thank you so much. And we want to just leave it off if anyone has any questions to finalize it. Yeah.
When you go to court, what is the percentage that you're able to have a positive in your mind outcome?
Karla, can you repeat the question so everybody on Zoom can hear it?
Okay, yes. So her question was, when going to immigration court, the outcome or the possibilities of representation with versus without representation, something like that, or
well, just how many people that are your clients are able to get their papers? percentage wise.
Percentage wise. Okay, so in terms of, and this is just immigration court, not USCIS, not affirmative. Okay, so the question was, what's the percentage of the clients that we have that are in court that have the ability to obtain an actual pathway to legal status? So at the moment, with first and foremost, immigration court, there's a long, lengthy process. So once again, with the uncertainty and just how broken our system is with courts, so they can easily schedule you for a master hearing, which is the initial hearing for somebody to present themselves. And then there's a final hearing called a merits hearing. And so they schedule them at a certain time, the client thinking that they have the appointment that time and at that time in that place. And in a couple, it could, you never know. They have full control. They can all of a sudden reschedule that hearing to another time, and they can schedule it out 1 year, 2 years out. You can go with your client there the same day, ready to go, individual hearing, you're prepared and everything. If the opposing party, opposing counsel is not prepared, or something needs to get processed, or the judge just doesn't have the time that day, they can easily just say, we're going to reschedule your hearing to another time. So in terms of percentage at the moment, because I just got accredited last year, there is no, we haven't seen a full case in court completed yet. We do have a client right now who is in removal proceedings. His scheduled first hearing was scheduled this month, but we got a notice last month that they were going to push it out to March of the following year. He does have an avenue to get his permanent resident status through his wife, who's a citizen. He is from Argentina. He came with a tourist visa. Something happened on the criminal aspect, but that does not deter him from having that avenue. So hope and prayer for that individual is to eventually get him into court, let the judge know what the plan is to try and take him out of removal and just submit a solid adjustment of status in front of USCIS. So currently no percentage yet. In the process, in the works, because COVID, the recent accreditation last year, and yeah, it's just a lot of little roadblocks in the way to provide a percentage at the moment. Yeah. Yes.
So to get citizenship, the real barrier is not an educational one, passing the test. It's having the eligibility, either through asylum status or something else, right, to get to the point where you can take the test and have a chance at being citizen. Is that correct?
Yeah, great question.
Yes.
And repeat the question.
What's the kind of the avenue to become a citizen once you have another type of immigration status? So yes, I mean, through many of those processes that Karla had up on there, through green cards, through VAWA, through asylum, through trafficking, every one of them have a time limit. Then you have to be a legal permanent resident for so long. So 3 years if it's through marriage, 5 years with any other type of application that you were approved from, immigration benefit, and then you can apply for citizenship. The problem that we have mainly here, or a lot in Santa Barbara County, is that if you're Spanish speaking, unless you meet a certain requirement, which we call the 70-year rule, or which is like 15 years as a legal permanent resident, 55 years of age, or 20 years as a legal permanent resident and 50 years of age, you have to take it in English. And so that is, then if you Spanish speaking, many people wait the 15 or 20 years because then they don't have to learn it. They don't have to learn English. So learning English is enough. But if you guys saw some of the civics questions that are asked, I don't think it's anything we even learned when we were in school. They have to learn this information. So many of them will wait the 15 or 20 years to apply for citizenship instead of the 3 or 5 years it would take them normally to become a citizen. The great thing about citizenship is which we really encourage people. Citizenship opens up avenues for them to apply for other family members that they can't get as legal permanent residencies. So it's great if they can apply for citizenship, but not only that, the cost of citizenship is $725 right now. They want to raise it. And so between the cost and the English requirement, that's a barrier sometimes to citizenship.
Yes.
Where does your funding come from for this program?
Oh, let me just repeat the question. So the question was, where does our funding come from?
Amazing places sometimes. We, of course, as a nonprofit, we apply for grants. We do fundraisers. We have contributions. We have churches that have come together to support us. And so, and just kind of a lot of individual donors who support us regularly.
Back there.
Stephanie, got time for one more question.
Do you provide financial literacy classes?
Oh, the question is, do we provide financial literacy classes?
That is actually, a financial literacy is actually one of our El Puente classes that we offer. So we have a couple of different organizations that will come in and work with a group doing sometimes up to a couple of months, meeting with them because our classes are 2 hours on a Wednesday. And so they'll come in and do some work along those areas.
Thank you.
Diane and Karla, I want to thank you so much for your
Thank
program
you.
this morning. Really important work that you're doing. And say how much we appreciate that. It's great to learn more about your organization. So let's see, got a couple things before I ring the bell. We raised $450 as a thank you to our staff here at the Santa Barbara Club. So we'll be giving that to them. We look forward to seeing you off a holiday party this Saturday and wish everybody a safe holiday. And pardon? Yeah, I just was getting to that, Connor. And also I wanted to tell our speakers today that we'll be putting your name in 30 dictionaries that we'll be giving to third graders in our Santa Barbara City schools in recognition for your program this morning. So thank you, everybody, and have a great day and a wonderful holiday.